Hey guys, this is a general reading for Taurus for August of 2020. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. If you have significant placements in Taurus, if you're just drawn to this reading, if you're cross-watching, like for somebody else who's a Taurus. Also for more of a complete picture, or if this doesn't resonate with you, check out your, all these other stuff I just said, like Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, whatever resonates with you, significant placements in your chart and all that, of other videos I've either made already or will make in the future. Energy is fluid, so this could have already happened. It could be happening now. It could happen in the future. Some, none, or all of this may apply, so take what fits, leave the rest. Don't make it fit if it doesn't. I could read it as love. It could be career for you. I could read it as you. It could be someone else significant to you. It could be flip-flopped, so just apply it as necessary. For those of you who ask about donations and participate with that, thank you so much for that. For the reciprocity of energy and giving back for the energy I put into these. All the information's in the description box below, my PayPal information, my email information. Also, if you're interested in services, that is in the description box below as well, so read all of it, including the disclaimer. I will say that I haven't added my shamanic services to it yet. So, like shamanic illumination, soul retrievals, destiny retrievals. If you have like attachment issues, cord issues, entity issues, shadow contracts, shadow work that needs to be done, soul essences that need to come back that left. If your balance, your energy is just off, like you need something added, something removed, anything like that. Also, I do crystalline consciousness technique. So if you're interested, I do a lot of services and charts with that. I'm going to start doing more of that even on my channel and do a video about it, but doing general ones just to show what it's about and also to help out anybody who watches the videos. But basically it deals on a way higher frequency, like up to 11th and 12th dimension. So you can really go higher with issues and healings at hand that are needed. And then it trickles down into the 3D. And I've been using that a lot of myself, actually. A lot of the stuff I've been going through and healing through and breaking through, it's been mostly the CCT that I've been using for that. And you could use it for yourself, anything for healing, an interaction, a relation between you and another person. It's just way higher energy and deals with stuff on a way higher energy in the healing of that. So even if you don't really know what it is or how to really tackle that for yourself, you don't really have to know at the same time. Sometimes it reveals it, but sometimes it just heals it on such a higher level and then trickles down. Usually though, when it does trickle down, you do get some insight in figuring out what it is, but either way it helps you heal it because it does it on a whole nother level. You don't have to know in the 3D or deal with the 3D, if that makes sense. But email me if you're interested in that. I also do light language, so I'll be doing more of those videos. I also do them personally for people, like individual sessions. So if you're interested in shamanic work, the crystalline consciousness technique, or light language, email me in the meantime until that I get that up in the description area. And thank you for those of you who do services with me. I love working with you guys and connecting with your energy. If you can't donate or you can't do a service, please know that liking and sharing and subscribing and commenting on the video is just as much of a donation to me. So please like the video, share the video, comment on it. It takes 2 seconds to do, and I love reading you guys' comments and connecting to you guys, even if I can't comment on everyone. But thank you so much for that. So please like, share, comment, subscribe, hit the video. Please make sure you're subscribed, because like weird things happen with YouTube where like people think they're subscribed and they find they're not. And that's like, there's a lot of YouTubers and channels that happens with. So, okay. So I'm just going to get started with your reading. In the center of your reading, you have the Four of Wands reversed. It's your only reversal And that's only because I only have one of my decks that I reverse the cards in. But when I have like all my other decks, they're upright as far as tarot cards. If they flip over, I leave them. So this is the only one that flipped over, and it's Four of Wands reversed. So something that was either something that you really wanted or that you did have, really mostly what I'm getting is something that at one time was a foundation for you, was happiness for you, a community for you, coming together for you. It was just there in a togetherness. Might have even been a spiritual relationship, but something of significance and a significant foundation. Tell me about the Four of Wands reverse. Six of Pentacles reversed. So there wasn't really a lot of balance and it wasn't given back to you. But at one time, either you thought it was going to make you happy, or at one time it made you happy. But it's reversed. So you're either realizing it's not, or I think you've just been thinking about it and seeing if it's a good investment for you, and maybe deciding whether to go on another path, like whether to leave it or keep it. And I do think you decide on you, because what's crossing you is the Lover's card. And this has been coming up a lot for me, and really is something different than honestly most readers read it. And it's not even honestly really just for me, because if you lay out the major arcana and you look at what this would mean story-wise, it would actually show what I'm saying anyways. But it's not always that it's like, wow, this is an amazing connection, like it's super, so much a soulmate or a twin flame, or they love you, or it's amazing, or it's meant to be, or it's whatever. It also goes along with like the Lovers, like a choice, you know what I mean? And it's between, like, she's looking up at the heavens or the ethers, the man is looking over at the woman. It's really a choice between your human egoic self, your human needs, primal needs, animalistic needs, and your higher evolved self. It usually also comes across as a choice between either you or the other person, or staying awake or staying asleep, and what I mean by you or the other person, I mean, in order to be in this person, like with this person or situation, it can't also be about you. Like, it's not one of those relationships where it's an equal give and take. Kind of like I said with the Four of Wands reverse came up as the Six of Pentacles reverse. Like, it's not an even give and take. Meaning, in order for you to be in this situation or be giving to the situation, you either have to pick to give pretty much all your energy to them, and it's all about them and devoted towards them, or you have to just pick you, like it's you or them. It's kind of like the same idea, but this is a little bit more barbaric in a different way. I don't know. I can't really think of the right words right now, but it's either kill or be killed. You know what I mean? It's like, it's either you or them. And that's a lot of this type of relationship. And I'm not saying this relationship is trying to kill you. It might, but I'm just saying, like, it's either you or it's them. And it's really a choice that has to make. Like, are you going to choose? And it's also about patterns. Like I was saying about like your awakened self versus your unawakened self, your lower self versus your higher self. Two paths, basically. And you have a choice to make. And that choice is, I don't want to say, did you learn the lesson? Because it could be. Did you learn the lesson to choose differently? Or if you choose it, can you have a different perspective about it? But either way, it's really coming here like, do you choose you? Do you choose what's best for you? I know, like, there's some relationships where you would have to go back to sleep, if that's even possible, to stay in that relationship. If you're evolving and on a very spiritual path, which a lot, most Tauruses right now are, then you can't be with or focus on this person or situation and still continue on that path, because it just goes against everything that you're aligning with right now and who you truly and genuinely are and who you're becoming. And it would just require so much of your energy and everything that you wouldn't be able to continue to put it on yourself, if that makes sense. And it's time now to put it on yourself. I mean, it's up to you what you choose. Based on the reading, I'm going to say you choose you. And I'm going to go with, for one, it's the energy of it anyways, but I'm going to be optimistic in what's best for you and say that you choose you. And I don't mean this in a selfish way. I mean, I don't care if you're even with like a loving, great person. If you are dying inside, I mean, obviously you can reflect on it and see why and see if you can switch your perception. But if you're dying inside and it's not a good thing for you to be in that situation or with that person, then it doesn't matter what type of person they are. You still have to choose you. Like, I don't care how contracted you think it is. I don't care how spiritual you think it is. I don't care. That doesn't make any sense to stay in that. Maybe to shift your perception, because your perception could be ruining something that is possibly a good thing. I don't really get that, but it's possible. Maybe in that situation, then you might want to do the work and see. So if that applies to you, let that apply to you, where maybe you need to look at some of your wounds and your perception and see, why do you feel that way about that person? Is it really negative for you? Is it really not good for you? Or if you are with somebody who's really loving and they are actually good to you, and you're just, for the small amount of people this applies to, going after somebody who's toxic or whatever, look at why. What is your love language? Why does that turn you on? Do you have a block towards love and the receptivity of love and nourishment and abundance? Do you have a block in that area? Just something to think about. Either way, most people, they're going to be choosing them, however that applies to you. And I don't know, most people, it's going to be removing themselves from something that wasn't good for them. In the foundation of the reading, you have the Chariot and the Ace of Cups. So it's about not only moving forward and being inspired, but it's about all of you being in alignment. And like, I know the Chariot is about moving forward and travel and even victories. So it could be a victory here on that. But for me, for the most part, the Chariot is about your higher self, your ego, your human self, like all parts of you being on the same page. Basically, mind, body, soul is what I say, what I think, and what I do, all on the same page. Is it all the same thing? And it's about getting there and doing the work for that and doing what's best for you. That way you could be, to me, this is all about self-love. Yes, it could be a new loving opportunity, but for the most part, it's self-love, and it's doing you and making sure that you're in the right place and you're in full alignment to re-inspire yourself to where your cup is like runneth over. It's very much a new cycle here going on. Like, even the energy at the bottom of the deck, the Fool card, Two of Wands, you even have the Magician, Three of Pentacles, Eight of Wands. So you may be starting a new cycle, moving forward and manifesting, maybe even with other people, but at the very least learning and creating and building and taking action, maybe after leaving something behind that was sad, but mentally moving on from it. Maybe some even were like waiting and thinking and nostalgic over somebody and just waiting for a new opportunity, an equal give and take. But they realized it just wasn't maybe going to happen and meet up. Yeah, and they let the idea of that go. After doing some internal work and realizing it kept them stuck in healing and finding will and discipline to move on and find your inner power again and change your perspective and do what's best for you and end this cycle. And you're moving in a new direction. Curious, willing to look at all parts of you, to see what was holding on, what was the attachment, so you could just really heal. Just really looking at all parts of you, basically. In the past, you have the Hierophant, so here's you, but I really get commitment with that. This was something that was either a big commitment for you or something that you were really committed to. And I think just somewhere along the way, you've just really been growing and also have just gotten excuse me, I have a lot of energy moving through me. I don't know why, so it's kind of coming up as burping. But you kind of got the messages and the ideas where it's it's just either not what's best for you, or maybe you really don't want it, or it's not in your highest good. Whatever this is, whether it's friends, family, work, environment, situation, relationship, whatever, it's just no more. There's just a lot of, whether you fasted to do it or you just got the idea and download to do it, you're just kind of owning your power in this moment and just being in one of your highest forms. And willing to just, what's in your thoughts right here, kind of fast and get things away from you that aren't serving your highest good. You might have just really had some levels of ideas or epiphanies that certain people or things or whatever, maybe even foods, it doesn't have to be a person or situation, that even ideas, negative thinking, whatever, just weren't in your highest good. And you're really just changing some things around, through will, taking responsibility, discipline, fasting, detoxing, just moving things away from you. And so you're really just kind of keeping to yourself, healing, and kind of keeping things or people or whatever it is away from you. There is a hermit vibe here going on as well. It is going to be the energy's moving pretty fast. So the energy might actually start moving pretty fast for you, because my energies, when I do a Taurus reading, don't normally move this fast, but they're moving pretty fast. In the future, you have the 5 of Wands. So while you're doing all this, there may be conflict. This could be inner conflict. It could be conflict with, say you're detoxing yourself from certain people. You might have to deal with that. You might have to deal with certain ideas. I did pull clarifiers to see, and the Pitchfork came out, the Shovel came out, and Fetus came out, which is really just about uprising, rebellion, conflict. The Shovel to me is just about, you're either burying something or just digging it up. Either way, you're either laying it to rest or you're digging it up to get rid of it because you're ready to embark on a new beginning. And I don't know, maybe this is also doing some of that work to kind of get you there. Let's pull out of this other deck. It might be kind of hard for you because you're cutting something away that's so ingrained within you. I mean, this could even be just your own actions or your own resistances or your own blocks, your own old habits or your old self to some degree, like a layer coming off. And so as you're just doing this, you're just working through some of that. But you're really holding on and fighting through it because you're really wanting to end this cycle. And be careful, because a lot of times when you tend to do that, sorry if my desk is squeaking, when you tend to end a cycle or even raise vibration, whether it's your own thoughts or things outside of you, a lot of times things can come in to kind of confuse you or hold on or attach the chains again or bring you back down or whatever. So really stay strong throughout this and remember what your goals are. Like if you have to, write down your goals so that it's black and white, so that you remember what your goals are, so that you don't forget it or forget what you're aiming for or going for. What about the Five of Wands? Yeah, like you want to be, it's Eight of Swords. You want to be out of being stuck. You might get a lot in your mind or a lot of inner conflict. Either way, because you're detoxing this out, people, ideas, situation, job, whatever, it is going to bring up some things within you as well. So not only might it bring conflict around you because you're standing up for yourself and having boundaries, like this could also be, you know, Four of Pentacles and Nine of Wands, very much about boundaries, making it hard for people to get to you. You know, they could be trying to get into your head, or you could be cycling in your own head and seeing these other parts of yourself that you have to deal with, or having to deal with them. Either way, you get the point of what I'm saying. There might be mind games, whether it's just within you or them with you. So just don't, and I think that's why this card, I guess I'll just say it now, stability is here. You are being very much guided. So I'll go back over this in a little bit, but you have staff. I'll read it a little bit later, but staff is very much stability, about you are being guided. It's something that's helping you go and walk during your journey, like kind of like a shaman staff or whatever. And it's very much about having experienced a detour recently or a distraction recently, but now that you're on path, keep going and don't allow yourself to get distracted again. So I'll come back to that a little bit later and read it, but that's exactly why that's there. Because I do think that, you know, people probably are going to try to come in and work with you, talk with you, collaborate with. It's almost like, yeah, like that thing, like you're kind of going away or taken off or whatever, and they're like, wait, come back, or hey, this happened, and this could be someone you know or some situation you've already been in, or it could be something completely new. So you really have to really just relax and tune within and go within your intuition and your guides so that you can really use discernment during this time, because it's, I don't know, I don't want to go on this and sound like, you know, like really out there conspiracy theorists or really like woo-woo, but it's like that idea, whether it's your own psyche, whether it's, you know, light versus dark, whatever, you know, that it's like that last little that tries to pull you back, you know, or that last little test, like, are you sure? Are you sure you figure this out? Are you sure with this decision? Are you sure you've learned this lesson? Whatever. Are you sure you want to go there? However you want to think about that, like good versus evil, I don't know. It doesn't matter. The concept is still the same. So be careful that they don't come in and try to keep you with the similar cycles or work with you, and it kind of confuses you and then muddies the waters again, because they're trying to like come and build or work or whatever with you in some way. And just be careful of that. Like, I think it's going to be internal and external, this Five of Wands, as you're really standing up for yourself, rebelling. There's, you know, like the conflict, and the Five of Swords really keeps trying to come up. As you're really just trying, is excavate the right word? Like, just dig it up and get it out. I don't even know if you so much even want to bury it. It's like, I don't even want it in my grounds. You know what I mean? Like, you're trying to like dig stuff up, not only around you, but within you. Like, just get it all up. Some of you, if you need help with this energy wise, please hit me up for energy work if you're having trouble getting this energy out or transmuting it. But you're really buckling down, I think, which I think that's also another thing with this. Like, you're like buckling down. You really got those boundaries. I think you're really like the word, like grabbing the bull by the horns, or really digging your heels in within you just to be like, enough, you know, I'm done with it. And having to see something within yourself during that, or see something within somebody else or a situation around you, because you're doing that, because you're finally really willing to face it head on, or deal with those demons, if you will. You know what I mean? How you see yourself is, you have the 7 of Wands and you have the 10 of Pentacles. So I think you are trying to keep things at bay and protect yourself while you're trying to build something new. But I think even more so, I think you're trying to keep things away from you. And in your position that, like, stay in your position and keep things away from you that can distract you or whatever. And I just feel like this is something that, like, yes, you're wanting to build long term and towards the 10 of Pentacles, but I also get the vibe that it's just something that's been ingrained for a while. Like, this could be ancestral stuff, family stuff. It could be family. It could be something that has just spent a lot of time on, a lot of investment, a lot just for a long time within you or around you. And so that's another reason, like a whole nother layer, why it's, you know, it's all that much harder and so much conflicting to work through and get these energies out of you and see really what they meant, what the issue is, but even just to get the energy out. Like, who are you? Who are you outside of this? Who are you without this? You know, who are you? And keeping it away and not falling prey to any distraction or illusion or whatever while you're going through this process. Because it has the energy too of, like, at one time you saw it as the 10 of Pentacles, kind of like at one time you probably saw it as the 4 of Swords. What's in your environment is the Sun and the Ace of Wands. So you could have somebody who's, I mean, there's a lot of things. It could be very childlike or egoic or masculine and all about sex. They could just be really happy. I don't know. But there is a lot of fire energy here because you have the Sun and the Ace of Wands. And the King of Wands, like, I don't know how many times I've done the last so many readings and the King of Wands comes up. So it's kind of crazy, to be honest with you. But so this could be the King of Wands, and maybe they're just a really immature, all about sex energy. I don't know. But what I also feel with this is that I think this is the energy that's surrounding you, that's available to you, that you're going into, is just this. I mean, I guess you could go immature and have sex, but let's look at the positive side of it. And what I feel more is, I think you're going to go more into your more vulnerable and childlike state in the way of having, like, to me, the Sun is all about innocence. Like, it's about having the heart of a child, but yet you're evolved enough to have the wisdom of an adult, you know, an elder. Especially after, like, there's a lot of hermit energy here. So there's going through, like, some hermit vibes. So, and just re-sparking and having, like, this new exciting beginning within you and around you. Like, this is the energy available to you. And I think you know it. I think that's why part of you is like, well, it's either because you're tired of it and you want to feel that way, or you can just feel it around you and you're like, you don't want whatever you've been dealing with. You want the Sun and the Ace of Wands energy. You want to feel good again and inspired again and creative again and fired up again, and just feel that sexual creative energy, not in a toxic way, but in an evolving creative way. You know what I mean? Hopefully that's the way you're using it. I mean, who knows? This other person around you, maybe they're going through that too, but maybe they're also in the sexual creative energy, but they might just be using it in a lower energy. Let's pull cards on it just to see. I feel mostly it's an energy that's available to you, but let's see about the sun. Yeah, Nine of Cups and Ace of Wands. Two of Wands. So Two of Pentacles, I mean. So you have Nine of Cups and Two of Pentacles. Like, I just think it's an energy that you're deciding what to do with it. And before, I think you used all this and directed your energies in a kind of toxic or lower vibration way. And I think whatever you've either been realizing, doing, or whatever lately has really made you see some things and really raised vibration to the point where, you know, I almost feel like a splitting, kind of exactly like this is showing too, where there's like a splitting where you can't do this to go here. And it's like, kind of like I was saying with this, crossing it, right? So you're like, you can tell that your vibration is raising, but you can't keep doing or having around you what you did to go there. And you've kind of been knowing and like dancing between this for a while, but it's becoming more and more where you're just like, no, and you're choosing you, like with the Lovers. Like you're like, all right, I can either not choose to go up anymore and stay here with what I'm doing, which, let's be honest, that hasn't been comfortable at all. Or I can go towards the unknown and be curious and excited and try something new, a path I haven't traveled, but this is what I'm feeling from it coming, and choose me and go that way. And I don't know what it is. I don't know what causes, because it's going to be different for everybody. This is a general reading. So whether you've literally straightened up your diet, you started exercising, whether you detox, whether you got certain people away from you, whether you got away from a certain job, whether you've been reading certain books, watching videos that are very enlightening, whatever it is, it's been raising your vibration. And there's almost just this splitting happening where it's like you just have to choose you. Maybe it's even health-wise. You're like, no, I have to choose me. Yeah, see? Judgment, Sun card, Ton of Cups. You just know, like, you've had some type of major realizations about yourself and what's best for you. How your environment sees you, the Moon card. So, I mean, they could think you're crazy. It's very possible, you know. It's like I always say, though, I mean, please make sure you're not, you know, like, check in with yourself, check in with other people you actually trust, or seek help if you need it. But it's hard to judge, you know, yourself and your health based on a world that's sick. You know what I mean? So just as a little tidbit of information. But they might see you as crazy. They might see you as confused, or that they don't really know what you're doing. Maybe you're just being quiet right now. Maybe they think you're being secretive or playing games. You know, the moon also is very much like, werewolf came to my mind. Actually, I want to do a video about this, but you know, maybe they do see you somewhat changing, which, let's be honest, most werewolf things we see, you know, they go through a phase of lunacy. But I think they really see you as you are working on yourself. It's kind of like a mixture. Tell me about the Moon card. Because I got the eight, yeah. Because I got the Eight of Pentacles and the Queen of Wands. And you really keep coming up as the Queen of Wands here. And also like Queen of Pentacles. It's almost like I feel the moon in an empowering way. So they might see your stages of confusion, maybe even like lunacy or whatever, but at the same time, it's also because they see you like going through a process, and they see you focusing on yourself and figuring things out. And I just say this because, to me, the moon in this situation, as I'm tapping into it, it doesn't feel confusing. I mean, it does, but it doesn't. It feels empowering. It feels like that mistress of the night energy. You know what I mean? Or like that just empowering, calling on the moon power. I don't know any other way to explain that, but it feels empowering, which makes sense because, like, in your environment is the sun and the Ace of Wands. But yeah, like, say, like Ace of Pentacles. It feels empowering to me. Excuse me. I'm sorry. Just a lot of stuff moving. So, I mean, they see you going through your ups and downs of this process, but they just see you working on empowering yourself and transforming and, like, doing what you have to do, it or whatever it is. I don't even know. It could just be your guides. It could just be the world. It doesn't have to be a person. It's just how you're seen, is what I'm saying, by the world around you, your environment, basically. Your hopes is you have the Four of Cups, you have the Seven of Swords, and you have the Four of Swords. So I think you're just really trying to keep things away from you and healing and keep figuring things out and learning. You're not dealing with emotional stuff right now. You're just more to yourself. You're not dealing with anyone or anything, and definitely not dealing with deception. You're even looking at your own stuff of how you've been looking at things and what hasn't been healthy or the best for you, or even what was illusion to you. And you're just resting and thinking and doing your stuff. Well, that's your hopes, is that you just continue to stay, I think, on this path or whatever it is you're choosing to do right now. What's in your fears is you have the King of Wands and the Tower. So for some of you, you might fear that making this choice, some of you might think that you're worried it's actually going to ruin your chances with this person, just as a little note, person or thing or whatever. Some of you are, like, worried of the repercussions from making this decision. Like, say if you're in a marriage and it's just not a great marriage, what are the repercussions going to be, whether to you, your children, hopefully if the person's not manipulative or violent. Tell me about the Tower. So the King of Wands comes up again. And the Lovers. I think you fear also, like, not only what this person or situation might do, will it work out in your favor, or did you make the wrong choice, but just the will and the discipline and what you're going to have to go through to continue this choice because of what it really meant to you and how you saw it before. I mean, it's like the idea of just walking away from or throwing away the idea of everything of what you always thought you wanted or what your happiness would be derived from. Like, on one hand, you're like, I need this and I know what I have to do. But on the other hand, like, you hate that you have to make that decision. Pretty much. What's in the likely outcome is you have the Queen of Swords. So, yep, there goes your boundaries. There goes you speaking your truth. There goes you just cutting it off. That's what I mostly get, is cutting it off. Yeah. You have the Seven of Wands. Like you're going to detox from it, keep it away from you. It's a very straightforward reading. Like I think you're just ready to take a chance and a risk in a new direction and manifest something new. The Magician. It's funny because I do feel a lot of depth in either spirituality or a lot of energy pushing this. But it's so straightforward at the same time. And it's just helping to balance you out. Which you do have balance. You also have stability down here. The day boy and the night girl. Which is funny because your environment, you have the sun and how they see you is the moon. So again, you have day and night. And then battle, ungrounded, and word. So for some of you, it's not going to be for all of you. For some of you, it might actually bring in like a battle or some words or some type of, like how it has the Five of Wands, like conflict because you're choosing to do this. Whether physically or you energetically did it or whatever. And it could be internal, it could be external, it could be both. So some of you may have to deal with this person or whatever. But it's really... So, I mean, here's the thing too. Like, for those of you who are figuring this out, you're starting to raise your vibration, you've been doing little things. There's more to come. Like... And I don't know if you want to call it like an awakening or an epiphany. There is a level up. I don't think it's super dramatic, but you are being guided by a higher force. Oh, so like the guardian, the familiar. You are being guided by a higher force. Exactly like in here too with the Lovers. Here. To choose you, whether permanent or not, because there is another leveling up or some information that's trying to come to you, whether to figure out about yourself or your path or what to do. It's just trying to speak. Like you do have listen. And I wasn't going to take this. I was going to put it back in the deck, but it just so much wanted to come out that I pulled it back out. And it's really trying to get you to detox and quiet your mind. Like then you have cleanse and detoxify. Success under that. Giving and receiving. Daydream. No need to worry. And then creative project. You do have Saturn and act. So there's like some type of maybe masculinity, but karmic cycle that's closing out or getting ready to like go. So you're kind of being guided with how and what to do with that right now. But what I'm saying is that's not just like the end of it. Like if you're like, oh, I've already ascended and I want to stay here. Like, I don't think you realize how much this lowers your vibration. Whatever it is you're walking away from or getting rid of. I don't think you realize how much it lowers your vibration and how much it like even keeps you asleep or how much it affects you. And something has come in to get you where you've gotten to this point, but just removing this and getting it gone, even try not to even think too much about it, like focus on other healthy things and on you and your own work. I did a chart on myself recently, so I'm totally not saying this just to be like, hey guys, blah, blah, and advertise myself. I'm really from my heart telling you this, that, because I was having a hard time getting in alignment with my new person I'm becoming and who I am, and not only my future self but my authentic genuine self, and getting rid of that old part of me and the chains of it. And I did like a CCT chart, and the energy was just so powerful. Like even that night when I did it on myself, I can just feel a lot of the shifts going, and it was just inspiring me to move more towards that stuff that I had a huge block or resistance towards. And so I did basically like a transitioning chart on myself for helping myself through this process. And to guide me and ease that, because there was a huge part of me that was just gripping on, and it's just changed like and shifted my whole energy and my mentality and the way I think about things. And it's not a forever answer. Like, it's just those little things that help you, those little nuggets along the way that get you where you're going, and then you continue and do your work, and then, you know, you do feel something again, you got to push through that. It helped me push through that, at least to the point where I can then continue doing my work. And, you know, is it forever fixed? No, like, I still have my old ways of thinking that then I have to work on and look at, but it still makes it to where then I'm able to do it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't have some other energy that's going against it. So then I've got something else. I don't even know what I'm battling, if that makes sense. So it just helps to push me forward to where now energetically I'm more in alignment with it. And then when those other thoughts come up, I can more easily handle those or redirect those, if that makes sense, which is really what it's really been doing for me. But I've also been doing other things as far as, you know, looking at things with, you know, my diet and what I'm looking at and what I'm reading and what thoughts are I'm going in my head, or what I'm looking at, or what am I putting into my self in the way of what am I watching, what am I reading, who am I around, blah, blah, blah. So I've been doing like a huge detoxifying process as well. So whatever on that. But it's really to get you to go where you can dream again and you can be creative again. And instead of using these creative sexual energies in a balanced way, like you've been doing, this old cycle that you're trying to get out of, you can now use it in a healthy, productive way that is going to help you build and grow and give back to you, right? Like Six of Pentacles energy, give back to you, balance. And you're really being guided how to do that. And it's really asking you to clean out and listen and raise your vibration so you can daydream again and think about like even like creative projects. Like, what can you put this into that's just going to turn out better for you? That way you're not making like friends or family or loved ones or romantic partners your creative projects, or the things that you get your creative energies out in, or your boredom out in, or whatever, maybe even addicted to drama. But it's really about looking at that. And you are being guided, like you have familiar, so you have guardians. So this not only is about being guided, but it's also about animal spirits. So really look at animal spirits that either your whole life you've been guided to, like animals, whether real or imagined. Like one of my biggest ones is dragons. In real life would be horses, but there's many of them. But you know, what have you always been guided to? What have you always loved? What have you been seeing lately? And just look at that for answers and keys, and meditate with that, like symbols, because they are really coming to help you, you know, in an energetic way. But it's really just saying also too, like, you are being guarded and guided during this process. Let me read the stat. Oh, look, I opened right to it. Don't let a temporary diversion from your path stop you. You're back on track, so keep going. Be firm in your convictions and commitment. Don't let others divert you from your path, your beliefs and truth. You've come a long way, so don't give up. Keep going. You're almost there. And then you have manifestation, like spell and manifestation. It's like helping you to manifest what you want. It's also telling you that, because this right here, along with this Fool, like this energy, and this that's in your environment, this is some manifestation energy right here, like this spell manifestation. So another thing that it's warning you of is, and I think this is what your guides are helping you with, you know, be careful what you wish for. Be careful what you pray for. Be careful what you're putting your energy into. because there's a lot of manifestation energy right now with you, believe it or not. You might be sitting here and be like, no, there's none around me. Well, if you're putting it into negative or lower vibrational things, or you keep putting it into someone or something that is not giving back to you, like it's either sucking your energy out and not giving back, or it's just not giving back, period, or it's even resisting you, then how are you going to know? You know what I mean? You're literally... This thing is not, because whatever it was, it had the Six of Pentacles reversed. It wasn't given back. Not in the way you need. So you're trying to be guided right now to go into directions that will bring you so much more than what you at one time thought you wanted. But it's not. And it's time to let go. I mean, for a Taurus especially, that's hard because we're bullheaded to a lot of the degree, and we're very resistant, and we're very they can be bullies in their lower energy. So if they have something in their head they think they want, they'll just, a lot of times, if you're not as evolved or in your highest, element or vibration, you'll just keep going over and over and thinking how can I get this? How can I get this? How can I figure this out? How can I figure this out? I'll just be patient, and I'll do this, and I'll do this, and I'll do that. Which really doesn't matter. Who cares? If it's whatever it's supposed to be, it'll be again. So you don't have to spend time thinking about it. But you also shouldn't just be sitting and just thinking about that and putting all your energy, because, Tauruses are very mono-focused. At least, we're evolving, so who knows what we're going to do with that. But in the past, stereotypically, we're very monofocused, which is a huge part of our manifestation abilities, because we're really able to focus. But the question is, what are you focusing on? What are you manifesting? Is it for your highest good? No judgment. If it's not, keep doing what you're doing if that's cool with you. But if you're feeling this, constant, there's something off, or why isn't it manifesting? Or why am I so anxious? Or why is this happening? Blah, blah, blah. Well, you're trying to manifest something that isn't in alignment with you. I mean, that's another thing too. I don't know if this really applies on it, but a lot of people can get confidence issues because they just don't know any better, but their vibration is actually higher, and they'll get low self-esteem issues because they're trying to manifest something that in their mind, their psyche is telling them, I'm not good enough, or they don't want me, or whatever. And really, it's just, your alignment doesn't match up, and yours might actually be above theirs. And be careful on this too, by the way, for those of you who this is a spiritual relationship that you've been waiting on, deciding to go, or you have this thought in the back of your mind that you're I'll just go do this, and then just show them who I am and my boundaries and all that, and they'll respect me and come back. Maybe, but there's a good chance not. And then, again, it's not because you're not great at manifesting or because you're not good enough. It's because now you're too difficult, which is not your fault. It's just you would then it'd be too difficult for them. It would be too much work. They want someone to be easier, and that they don't have to give back to, and they don't have to really see who you are. They don't have to evolve themselves. They don't have to do any work. So yeah, I guess they'll respect you, maybe not, probably, but that doesn't mean they're gonna run up to you and be oh, be my queen now. You know what I mean? Maybe in the future, but I mean, maybe not. They might want to have more of the control, or they might just want to have somebody they can mold and do what they want to do. So if you're not falling in line, you know what I mean? They'll respect you, but that doesn't mean they're going to come and want to be with you, which that's not a bad thing. You dodged a bullet. So that's just a side thing. Forever needs to hear that. Just go do you, and know that your vibration is higher than whatever this was, and it's raising even more. And not only does that mean that you could have even way better and higher vibration things coming into your life that you could actually manifest, and you're shooting a lot lower than you thought you actually could. It's not that you're not deserving of this. It's that I don't want to say too good for, you're overqualified in a way. I mean, it's like being a lawyer. No offense to this. I'm just going to use it as an analogy. No offense to lawyers or McDonald's workers, but it's like a lawyer going to work at McDonald's. You know what I mean? Like, you could do it. Are you going to be satisfied? Probably not. You're overqualified. And there's just so much more you can do and have and experience and manifest. There's so much more power that you have. There's just so many more things. I mean, and maybe that's another thing this person possibly has a problem with, is seeing your true potential, or seeing that. I actually find this, just as a Taurus myself. I don't even know if I think right about this, but I'm just going to say it. But at least with some of the people I've dealt with in my life, you know, I've been in some ways not considered or whatever, because I've always been able to make my own money. I am not a damsel in distress. I can take care of myself, right? And, you know, to opportunists, that's great to some degree. I mean, they'll usually still have someone on the side that then makes them feel more macho, who is a damsel in distress. But for the ones who aren't, I'm sorry if I'm all over the place, it's just the energy right now, but for the ones who aren't, like, you know, they're not going to take you seriously. Like, you might be a side person or whatever. This is mostly for, like, girls that I'm talking about. Could be guys too, but women is what I'm talking about. Like, Tauruses just have that inherent thing in them that not only has this power about them, but that they're very stable beings, and they're easily able to manifest, and they're able to take care of themselves. There's not a whole lot. There are some, you know, everybody has all different levels within each zodiac sign, but there's not a whole lot of Tauruses that are damsels in distress. And, you know, there's a lot of guys who have been raised that they want to be in control, and they feel more powerful. Like, guys want to feel needed. And most guys don't go to emotional needs. They go to financial needs, like stability and stuff like that. So I don't know why I'm saying this right now, but it might suck a little bit for some of you too, because, you know, you don't need somebody to help you financially. Maybe not even mentally, maybe, like, but you need more someone who wants, you know, to be there for you as a compliment, but also maybe like mentally being there, or especially emotionally being there, even more so, considering our opposite element is water. So, and most guys aren't like, oh, good, I feel needed now, you know, because I could be there for her emotionally. Like, no, most guys usually they want to be there financially. It's their easiest go-to. You know, guys are about status, money, finance, you know, stuff like that, usually 3D type things. I'm not saying that's right or wrong. It's just a lot of times where it goes. So, so that does kind of suck for Tauruses, just saying as a side note, especially women Tauruses, if you're one of those that's not the damsel in distress type, maybe look at why too. Maybe there's some fears behind that, but I mean, don't be a damsel in distress, but you get what I'm saying, like trust issues and money and fear and all that. But there are other people out there though, just saying that they don't need to be your knight in shining armor. Yeah. Financially. Like, they'll be there to assist you, but I don't know why I'm saying this. Maybe somebody needs to hear it, but just know there are other people out there who are willing to compliment you, and to where you can actually lean on them and give and take. And Because at some point you might go through financial hardship and go through something like that, but just have a person you can lean on, whether it's mentally, emotionally, even financially or whatever. But I don't know. Like I said, I don't know why I'm saying this. So maybe somebody's going through this, or that's why you're just never always chosen and chasing. And I'm just saying, from my experience, it could be emasculating for a guy. But I will say it's usually the more lower vibrational guys who think that way. A guy who is more evolved and higher vibrational is going to see you as a queen and a powerhouse and somebody that's going to be there to complement his life. Not be the only thing, because he's going to be doing his thing too and on his purpose, but complement his life. And he's going to see that respectfully and know that his manliness does not come from only financially taking care of a woman, or is not taken away by a woman being able to take care of herself as well or contribute. Like, a lot of times, not always, because sometimes, women can be crazy too, but, a man, you can really judge, like, the quality of a man too by, like, how sound they are and the soundness of the woman, and is she happy and is she content? And again, that's not foolproof. Like I said, like, mental health stuff happens, but you get what I'm saying. I'm gonna go off of that, but just don't hold on to anything when you let go of this, what I'm saying, and heal a lot of these, because there's a lot of these thought patterns are possibly in some of you going to be cycling, and this or that, self-worth issues and all that stuff. And just own your power and ride out, and do your healing and evolve and heal, so that you can let this go and not only go into a better part of your life and whatever you go into with, like, path, purpose, or whatever, hobbies, different things, but maybe even go into a situation or with a person or relationship or whatever, that friends, that they're higher vibration. Like, all these things that are actually normal things for you to be doing that were at one time contributing to your low self-esteem, it wasn't actually because you should have felt that way. It was because you were around the wrong people who didn't see it, who didn't appreciate it, who weren't on that level, or who wanted to keep you held down so that they didn't have to work and improve themselves, but they didn't want to lose your energy or lose your light or lose whatever you gave them. It's not, yes, do your work if something's going on, but you're probably going to find in a lot of this that it's not what was wrong with you. It's that you didn't see properly and you weren't around the right people in the right situations. Because those people and situations are not only going to heal you, but they're also going to see that that stuff is your empowerment. And you're going to be like, why did I doubt myself for so long? Why did I sell myself out? Why did I think I was ill and judge myself based on other people who weren't doing that well themselves, or who weren't at a high vibration themselves? You're just going into this whole, it's like this whole new world of not only how you're seen and how you see yourself, but how others see you. And that's amazing. So, is that it? I feel confident leaving that there. So, I love you guys. Please like, share, comment, subscribe, hit the bell. Please comment, takes 2 seconds. Like it, hit the bell, make sure you're subscribed. Some people are getting unsubscribed for no reason. Donation for information, description box below. Email information, description box below. Service information, same. Description box below. Email me if you're interested in the CCT, shamanic services, or light language services. I think that's it. I love you guys, and I'll be seeing and talking to you soon. Bye.